Hi Simon,
Hi, Raj.
you okay?
Just give me one. Yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Okay.
So sorry, I
Sorry
was
about
I was talking to Neil before and just wrap up. Usually every day we have like around 5 o'clock. Just 15 minutes wrap up.
that. Right.
And it was
Okay.
taking longer. And before I was speaking to
Uh,
Tassos, I actually he did talked about the manufacturing side of it. Obviously, we talked in the meeting, right? I will set up a
uh-huh.
call next week with you and also him to understand some of the capabilities and stuff like that. And
Uh-huh.
we will see how we can
And
take
who was that? Sorry, that was with who? Sorry for testing in.
Tassos, Dr. Professor Tassos.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
And the
I see
university.
there's actually an Innovate call just come out. I got a notification this morning on manufacturing digital supply chain. Be aware of.
Great.
There's two parts to it. There's a feasibility, and then there's like an R&D piece to it. But I don't know. I wasn't sure if you'd seen that. I can ping it over to you actually.
Yeah, please do that. At the same time, yeah, let's. I think that there are a lot of things going on that side as well. Right, UK things. Obviously, you know how
Yeah,
you've done that before, and Tassos have done
yeah,
it before. We have done it
yeah.
together. Last time you were part
Mhm.
of it, right? So,
Yeah.
and
I'm
this
thinking
time,
about what I've seen. I just saw it this morning. Actually, I think it's not launched yet, but it's like a couple of days away type thing, you know. But it's like a pre-announcement. It's going to be in the next week, I think.
Mhm.
Thereabouts from what I recall seeing this morning there. But no, I was going to say the NDA wasn't attached to that summary you put out, but I guess you probably saw my reply in that.
You see? Oh, okay, I just missed out. Is it? Okay, let me.
Maybe just forgot to put it on. That's fine. Just ping back.
I trust you, Simon, because I just got you in the.
Yeah.
I just got you in the call without actually having you, right?
And I googled chamber. So I know there's chambers in the UK in various organisations, but this sounds like something. When I had a quick look at the website while we were on. I was listening to the call. So obviously Melissa works for Golden Chamber. The guy Doug works for Golden Chamber, and then they had yourself on, and then the gentleman from Singapore. So is it like it's like a membership which you pay for, or do you not pay for it? Are you invited to it? Or?
Yes, actually, what happened with the Doug is actually the founder of the organization. What I really liked about is that they're actually kind of a small businesses and everything. And they've been around very long, 5 years or something, around 500 metros, right? They asked me to actually one of our partners in Switzerland. They asked to talk about a Edge AI in a smart city initiative. That's how I got there. And then obviously they're putting this AI show, right? Like 4 week series. Actually, this is a third week, and they invited me if I can able to be contributor there.
Okay.
And that's how I think I was in every week. This is third week, and naturally, I would like to participate, and that's how it came in. And also, I thought it was really useful to be joining the organization also because they have like many SME businesses there across Asia and also US and everything.
Price are they talking?
They're not very expensive. I think they're around $500. $500, I think, for a membership. I think depends on. I think if you're an obviously
Size of organization.
it wasn't too much. I think they do a lot of events. I'm sure. I think Doug is a very good guy.
There's a caveat, and I don't know this company. I've never heard of Golden Chamber. I've never come across them, but I know there's other chambers that are similar to that. And there's one in the UK, and for the name, I can't remember the name, but it's a chamber. And somebody mentioned it to me one time, and I said, okay, I'll take a look. And one of my takeaways was because I went into, they've got various chapters, they've got a number of, a bit like this sounds like these metro areas that they talk about in the States, and this like regions in the UK. And one of the things that I think there is some membership. I don't even remember how much the membership was. I don't think it was as much as $500. But the takeaway in those things is that I guess twofold, because and maybe Neil has a view as well, and don't just take my opinion, but just
of course, no, Simon, it's okay.
Just for what it's worth, my opinion. There's three challenges. There's several challenges. I can think of three straight away based on my discussion with the chamber in the UK, which is a US entity. It's like I guess you would say it's like a franchise model. That's what it is. But the first problem is that, and I went to one of the sessions, so I had some exposure to their process.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things that struck me was that it's effectively like a referral program. So let's say you've got 20 people in the room, for argument's sake. There's 20 people in the room, and there's people from plumbers to electricians to owners of companies, SME, micro SME type companies and SME companies. And they run like a referral program. So this particular chamber, I know this person who's I've been doing some plumbing for them. Yeah, example. Been doing some plumbing for me, and they're also interested in an electrician who can do some electrical work for them. And therefore, the electrician in the room says, "Oh, I might be interested in putting in a proposal for that." Just as a quotation. So it's like if you're building a house, yeah? I'm building a house. I need an architect. Anybody know an architect? Okay, I've got an architect. Now I need a bricklayer. Can anybody recommend a brick? And it seems to be like that. And the sort of takeaway that I took from that was actually the companies and the organizations which I, and I guess you as well, want to talk to is not micro SMEs or really SMEs of that type, because there's a different scale of SME. Yeah, there's SMEs that are 2 people, and there's SMEs that are 250 people. In the description of what an SME constitutes, it's anything from £0 to 50 million. Correct. And that's just the definition of what that segment of the market is. And you've got medium-sized business and larger businesses. The fundamental for me is, well, actually, we've got a finite resource. We've got a finite availability of time. Yeah. So we want to spend it really wisely. So we don't want to waste time talking to, I'm using just the analogy, but builders and plumbers. You know what I mean? True. People like this because when you then realize actually which companies are here who I would consider to be the sort of companies that we want to engage in. And I didn't find any companies in that session that I went to in Glasgow. So, well, there's nobody here that I want to talk to because they're not the target audience with respect to what we have as a capability or as an offering. Therefore, I'm not interested. And I was just curious, again, the guy who's running the chapter, or the chamber, who gets $500 for each person who signs up to the organization. Well, he thinks it's okay.
For him, it's easy, right?
Well, for the value for us, it's actually, Unilever are not there. Reckitt Benckiser's not there. They don't go to events. They won't go there, yeah. They'll never go there. And if you want to deal with small companies, then maybe you might go. But my recommendation would be, I wouldn't have been interested in going, because when you really understand where companies go and what they do, based on the target of the companies that you want to talk with, these are not the sort of events that they go to. You don't normally, they might go as a speaker, but they don't go as an attendee in the audience. It's very unusual. Of course. Very, very unusual. It's never happens because that's not how they engage. Now, what I will say is other events, and that's what we need to be selective and understand the sort of ecosystem and network and things like that. But industry events, for example, when I was at Cascade, we went to an event called ISHM. It's in the US, and it's a process analytics event, yeah. And it's a process analytics event which is specific to the petrochemical and chemical market. So that all the petrochemical companies in the world, all the chemical companies like Bayer, BASF, all these large organizations, Exxon, BP, Total, Chevron, etc., their process analytics guys go to that event because it's an industry event that companies who are showcasing systems and solutions to solve problems of the industry go to. And it's an event that attendees are company, well, they're not directors. I'm not saying they're directors. That's not. But they are technical folks who are working in that industry, in that particular segment of industry, which is process analytics. Process analytics really means, in their world, analyzes and instrumentation. Yeah.
No, I think one thing.
That's how you run the process. Is you understand what's happening. First way you understand that process is look at what the instrumentation is telling you in the process, at each point in the process step. Now, that, as an example of that, was a very focused. Maybe when I've been to that in the past, we went several years, maybe 300 people, 400 people. But people were flying from Australia, from Europe, from Japan, many parts of the world. And I'm not saying it wasn't exhaustive by any means, but it gave a really good overview of who are the key companies in this segment of the market, who are the key individuals in this market, and who are the competitors in this market, if in the case of, you know, instrumentation or analyzers. And I would say, using that as an example, that's much more productive and appropriate to go to than maybe joining a chamber, because you never ever get those organizations that I just mentioned going to an event like that, and therefore we're not. The reason why I would not go to a chamber event, therefore, is because they are not addressing the audience.
No, I think that is
which we're looking for.
That is really powerful. I never thought about it actually. I think that may be the one of the things that's happening here, because I'm very relatively new. I think the way I see it was like, at least I can able to talk as a speaker, right? That's how we came in. But I don't even know.
The question is, what's the audience? You know, the audience is the wrong audience. Then
it's
speaking, and I understand that the organizer are interested in getting speakers to speak at events about relevant topics, and that's fine. But equally, is the audience the right audience that we want to talk to?
Exactly. That is
if
really...
it's not, then it's okay. Thank you very much for the invite, but it's not appropriate. Now, if, for example, ISHM said, which is an industry association, if they said, "Oh, could you come and speak?" And that's what we did, because we were taking from time to time. And I think in the first instance, we took just a walking of the event. We didn't present at the event, and then subsequent events we presented at the event. So there's then white papers which we were creating to talk about particular topics in that particular segment of the market. So, for example, petrochemical or chemical, you know, multiple process gas analyzers, you know, solid states. You know, that's what we had. So that's what we talk about. And that's much more. It resonates much more with the audience, but it then gives you good. And our experience, in my experience, that gave a good platform to understand the industry, understand who's doing what in the industry, and so on and so forth.
Actually, I never thought about this, Simon. I think this is where I think your practical business experience really helps, isn't it? Which is the audience? Actually, are we talking to the right audience? Because time is valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I cannot.
Who is it we're looking to talk to? You know, if, for example, like I said about the tier ones. Personal care market, there is a number of tier 2 and tier 3 companies. There's probably in the world, we calculated just some estimation, that we calculated there were probably 2,000 production lines in the world, of aerosol. And we were members of 2 organizations. One organization in the UK, and the other organization is an organization in Europe, which is European. It's EAS, also I can't remember. It's the European Federation of Aerospace, FDA or EGA. And what you found is that there are people who were in the association were people who worked for companies that had interest in the aerosol industry. So immediately you had a good focus because they were relevant people in the industry. Now, even then, you might, like for example, Linde, you know, the gas company.
Mm-hmm.
So Linde were providing, they had a membership. Well, actually, they're not a company that we want to talk to because they don't have the problem. They're a part of the industry. They're in the supply chain because they're providing the gas that then is filled in the can. But it's not a customer that we want to talk to.
No, I think that is really powerful.
Detection systems for aerosol. There is then companies that are providing hardware for production lines.
No,
I want to talk to them? Well, not really, because they don't have the problem. They're just selling systems and solutions.
I agree.
What we want to talk to is the people who are manufacturing. But like I said, I wouldn't then, just using the same analogy, I wouldn't even then talk. With that experience, I couldn't talk to tier 2s and tier 3s with this particular solution.
I agree. And also, by the way, that was really powerful, man. I'll definitely take that for sure. And also I'll find out what is the audience there, because I'll have to make sure that is a question. But you're absolutely right. And also keeping that aside, what did you think the meeting go? It was good. Did you think what useful, our team meeting?
Yeah, I guess, in terms of a topic, it's, I guess, as I say, but I need to understand more. I guess it's a bit like Neil would have said, there's lots of things we could do, but it's about being specific and making the right selection for the right reason based on good insight and good evidence about what the opportunity is and how we can create a solution to satisfy the need that's there. And that's why I said in that message earlier, that email earlier, interested if you can do a demo to me of your current product, the value core. Just give me an overview of just do it by Zoom or Teams or Google Meets or whatever. Just give me 30 minutes. Just take me through that.
Sure.
And then I can get a better understanding in terms of its capability currently, and then
future.
What it could be, what we could develop. Because everything is possible. It's just a question of time and money. And if we haven't got the resource, we can bring the resource in if we know the right resource. But yeah, I guess just as a topic of discussion, it was okay. But I didn't have any reference to work from, if you know what I mean. I don't have
No, because the idea was that, because a lot of, I wanted to create that, obviously, that people come up with ideas, but obviously we need to be structuring that. I think, if we create the culture of people coming up with that idea rather than just keeping themselves, that's actually the whole idea for it. But of course, we can have a one-on-one. Obviously, this is the first time for you, right? I think thank you again for actually coming up with open-mindedness and actually finding out what everyone is, rather than me telling to you that, what, we have these people. I think you can really see the level of expertise and also the innovative mindset of people, right? They're very creative and they wanted to do something, interesting. And also that is the kind of people we're attracting to the business. They're all working in different capacities. Some of them are from the US, part-time. Some of them are full-time. I don't care, because at the end of the day, you cannot restrict a person, I only need you full-time. Like these hours, it doesn't work, right? Especially with COVID-19. And I just wanted to create the culture and also see how it transpires. And I think, I think we will definitely work together, Simon, very well on that. And it'll be great.
So my next couple of points are just on the first conversation with regards to, the team. Then a couple of people that struck me as being, I've connected with a few of them on LinkedIn, maybe 3 or 4, I think, in the call. But a couple of people who sort of caught my attention was Swati.
Swati, yes, of course, yeah.
Out of Manchester, so she actually was up in Glasgow. I see she was at Caledonia, and she was across at Edinburgh at informatics. She did maths at Edinburgh.
Oh yes, okay, yes. I think she had Edinburgh. I think I remember PhD or something she did there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting in terms of what she's done. And then also I saw that she mentioned in the call that she's working on some project. And I guess they might be like an Innovate project, possibly, or some other funded project. Sure, because she said, accident insurance, and then some legal company, was it Burroughs or somebody like it was a 2 or 3 or 4 companies that we're working on this project, and it was obviously about risk, and so and there was also the chap who was ex HSBC,
Ali,
yeah. So again, that, just on the purely financial, because that's what their
exactly.
Expertise is in the financial side. So yeah, in terms of what we were talking about with regards to the product and the customers, which you've got either piloted with or you have some engagement with.
Yes.
It would be really interesting to have a more detailed discussion, probably separately rather than with
what I'll do is that, Simon, sorry, I think this US call is coming in because there is an automobile dealership call which we're having there. I think is coming in. So what I'll do is that, Simon, I think I really value your time today. What I'll do is that, if you don't mind, I'll call you. Let me know what time suits you next week, right? I will have a one-on-one with you, maybe with Neil also, to see what is our product line and everything like that. And then we can take it from there. And also, I send you the NDA just now. And also, anytime, feel free to drop off your insights and notes, okay? And what you said really struck me today about that organization I need to be carefully looking at. And Swati will be really useful for us because she did a great research, and also the area what she's working on, she will lead our explainable AI side, which is really great. And with Ali and with Alexander, both from HSBC, we can able to create something interesting there. All right. Cool. Good. Sorry, Simon, I have to cut you short. Sorry about that, but enjoy your evening. Take care. Bye, Simon. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Hello? Hi, Amy?
There you are.
Good.
Hello, Amy?
Hi.
Hi. I'm really, I wasn't sure whether it was 6 or 5:50. Then I was just hanging out with other call. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Good.
So, first of all, I want to introduce both of you. I know that the ORS